Well, could this happen here on November 1st? The Department of Homeland Security says, yes, it can. It's spending $80 million to batten cities down. You won't believe why, though. Like Greece. November 1st could be a very, very, iffy kind of a day. And I'm not just talking about what many in the Catholic Church view as All Saints Day. This could be all hell breaks loose day. The Department of Homeland Security spending $80 million on a raft of armed guards to protect the I.R.S. and other government buildings in New York. Not from terrorist threats, mind you, but from American citizens, because on November 1st, the food stamp program is set to start decreasing the amount that is allocated to food stamp recipients. Not all, but a good many, and they're worried that violence will ensue. TeaParty.net chief strategist Niger Innes says, like Greece, violence is a serious concern when entitlements are threatened. And Niger, I guess they're preparing for the worst. Should they be?
Well, this is really frightening. I mean, we are on a slow march to becoming Greece. You know, what this says more than anything is that when you have nearly 50 million Americans on food stamps that are forced to be on food stamps because of a miserable economy that big government is strangling, then you have a situation where it's obvious what government can give to you, government can take away.
But you know what's odd about this, Niger, is no one is having anything taken away at this point. Some might see the allocation of their food stamps rearranged, reprioritized, reduced very slightly, but nothing at this point that just strips the stamps from them. So let's say, I don't know how it works, if I have $75 worth of food stamps and I have $70, let's say, they are expecting riots over that. Should they be?
Well, you know, I don't know that they should expect riots this cycle. But if we do not radically change our economy and revamp our economy so that those 50 million people, nearly 50 million people, have an opportunity to be liberated from food stamps, forget $75 versus $70 versus $65.
Right.
What these people need is economic opportunity and a good job so they can put food on their own table. You know, Neil, the slaves had food stamps too. It was called scraps from Massa's table. And we have a crisis within our country right now when you have the 50 million people, nearly the entire West Coast, three states on the West Coast of the United States, on food stamps. That's the real outrage, and that's the real crisis.
To say nothing of about 100 million Americans who get some sort of food assistance. Now, I'm not begrudging the fact that there are some who genuinely need that help, and we should help them. But it's gotten so out of control now that if it keeps going at this pace, of course, everyone will be on it. But that begs the next question, whether we've become such an entitlement society and such an entitlement-expected society that when they're even slightly curbed, we heard it from Richard Trump at the AFL-CIO, when it comes to addressing even the growth of entitlements, they'll be held to pay on any Democrat who dare tries. So it doesn't look like we'll ever get out of this.
And we have to get out of this. I mean, we are on a slow march to being Western Europe, a socialized Western Europe, big government state where people have not only on entitlements, but have an entitlement mentality. And I'm not blaming the people that want these entitlements or in many cases might even be addicted to these entitlements. I'm saying they are victims and need to be liberated. Look, most of these folk that I talk to every day, they don't want to be on welfare. They don't want to be forced to be in a predicament where they have to use food stamps or food assistance. They want a good job. So we need to liberate this economy so that we can revive this economy to provide jobs, you know, take the boot off the private sector so that the private sector can do what it does best, which is create economic opportunity, not just jobs, but economic opportunity for people that might want to be entrepreneurs and provide jobs.
Yeah, you gotta give people that opportunity without, indenturing them to these programs. Niger, thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Neil.